Doc a ball, you definitely see that he's a soccer legend.
Doc was a real great soccer player and a big deal.
I can tell the way he plays soccer that this guy knows soccer.
He was a real proper footballer. Doc was a soccer pro.
One day in 2005, I decided to give it all up. I just walked away from the field.
Doc and I became good friends because we drove together all over our country. Thousands and thousands of kilometers. And if you drive with someone that long, you really get to know them well. It was massive for me growing up quite naively because I had good expectations for my future. And that's why I could manage my life in a pragmatic way every day, because I knew I was heading somewhere. And someone that's from a real destitute background, sometimes they think, I don't have a future. So today is today. It's all I have is today. And whatever I do, it's for today.
After my father died, we just didn't have anybody to go to when we had difficult or problems or we didn't have something to eat. Yeah, I was alone then. I had my mother and my sister that were looking up to me, but I couldn't assist and I couldn't provide for them. And you could imagine a frustrated, unemployed person with low self-esteem.
My parents passed away in '99 when they were murdered. So I came back to South Africa just to bury them, and I think from there I felt like life was just over for me. In our culture, South African black people, we don't talk about such things. It's when you start saying, I wanted to know what happened, my grand will be like, we don't talk about it. She will tell you that you're opening a wound that we can't close, so we don't talk about it. At my lowest point, there was a time that I even thought about suicide. I didn't think it was worth it for me because of the pain that I was in. I didn't feel I could take it anymore.
I think Doc has within him a way of seeing things that no one can see. I think he relates to most of what he sees on the streets.
Yo. So last time I was here was like 98, 97. That's almost 23 years ago. That's the last time I stepped on this ground. That's the last time I saw this field. This is where I was brought up, man. This is where my soccer started. Yo, man, I scored a lot of goals, especially that side. I used to score a lot of goals there. This is a therapy every weekend, man.
So the area where I was born is called Sanin, which is in the Limpopo area. It's got a lot of mountains around it, and it's very green. They normally farm oranges. My dad and my mom were both farm workers. So I was born in that kind of setup, very, very challenging, very impoverished. When I grew up, I was more close to the farmers' kids, which are normally the farmers, the bosses, and white people. So all their kids became friends when we were young. We used to go fishing, go hunting. We did different stuff, man. I played with them. I mean, it was a nice life. I was resilient. I was a fighter in a good way. I was always hardworking. And I was the first guy to leave the farm compounds and go to high school. High school was about 40 kilometers away from there.
So that was my daily trip. So I normally used to leave around 4 o'clock. So I used to walk here. I couldn't see anyone. There were no cars. So I would just walk from here and then all the way to school for 5 years.
I used to walk every day. Some of the guys I grew up with, especially from the white counterpart, they didn't like it. So I got rejected basically by my friends. They started calling me names, very insulting and stuff. So I got so hurt. And my dad told me, now they're jealous of what you're doing to go to school because you don't want to work here in the farms. I could have easily dropped out, but I didn't see myself going back to farm and just be a farm worker. So I kept pushing. I wanted to become better. I wanted to become a better person. I was one of the top students around my district. I enrolled for medicine at the University of Cape Town, but I did medicine because I wanted to do something for people and I wanted to serve people. I started playing soccer at the university where I studied medicine. From there, I went on to play professionally. And that just changed you. You feel like the hero. You celebrate the whole 20,000 people when they walk around campus. Where are you playing? What? You get girls who just come and want to be your wives from nowhere. So that, I didn't like the journey. And I remember 2005, I just told my team, I said, I'm leaving. I remember my friend Dave said, where are you going? I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm going to the squatter camps. For me, when I drive into these kind of areas, I see beauty. Normally in South Africa, these kind of areas, people don't come here. They're regarded as notorious. They're regarded as there's a lot of bad things happening here. But I come here, I see good in everyone. And I don't regard this kind of people here and my friends here as a problem. I regard them as a solution to a better South Africa. So every time I drive in here, I feel at home.
I wasn't surprised when Doc stopped medicine studies, and I wasn't surprised when Doc gave up his football career to work with communities. He gave up both of those things to come back to where he came from. And that's where he belongs, is in community work, working with people that's from the same background as him. And that's, I think, in his DNA. So I think that's his natural state. He's in communities, making a difference, not focusing or living for himself.
Legal game. Netball. Eh? So, you told Sheba today? All right. Get right, eh? Okay. This is my classroom. I don't do workshops. I don't do buildings. This is my building. This is my infrastructure. We use this setup to mentor and coach them and support them to keep them in the same environment. My passion is this. This is what I always want to do. I want to go back and open up the world for other people. I think people need to see the world outside the compound, outside the setup where you're impoverished. Because for me, poverty is when you're isolated. It's when you're not connected to the rest of the world. I was in a compound up the road, and that was my small world. And believe it or not, the town, which is about 15 kilometers away from here, I never saw it. Till I was doing like grade 12. My dad would take me with a tractor or something.
He brings hope into people's life. Into my life, if I can start first, he brought that self-belief. He brought the self-confidence in me. He took me from a village. I couldn't speak English. I couldn't make even a sentence in English. I have a friend, it's Tembi Mamba. So she happened to be pregnant and had twins, 2 girls. They died a week apart. So she was so devastated. So I saw a need of helping her. And my one thing that came to me is that she has passion for kids. So if I open a creche, she will be a good teacher. So Doc said I must write a proposal to him and tell him what I want. So I did that, and he sent money. When we made a check, we bought some chairs and tables. We started with 3 kids, and now we have about 40 kids in that creche.
I met Doc in 2010. I needed a father figure to speak to guide me. and there was no one. And I think this is where Dog comes in, because it was one of the people that would ask about my father. He was the people that was eager to listen when I had something to share.
So me meeting Doc, I think he found out before how they passed away, and then he came to me and we spoke about it. And that was my first time opening up to someone, because Doc, that's how he is. He will make you really, really open up. He will tell you about his mom, his dad, his brothers, his sister, everything they're doing wrong and things that he doesn't like. And then you start saying, this guy, if he can tell me about his family like this, why can't I say? And I've been waiting for that opportunity to say something to someone when it comes to my parents passing away. So I opened up to him and we spoke about it, even though I still cry. And I think I will cry forever. But he gave me that space for me to be open to him, to talk about it.
To me, it's just awakening something that I can't describe, because I felt alive. I felt like I was not dumped or buried in a shallow grave, but I was still alive.
Don't give up. Don't give up. I lived it. Hardships builds resilience, and it makes you wise about life. So let's learn from each other.
So when you ask me what's hope, it's this expectation that tomorrow can be better than today, next week can be better than this week, next month will be better, next year will be better than this year. And Doc's methodology of giving hope is not pep talks or slogans. It's giving someone a taste today of dignity, of agency, of being in control of their own life. Feeling good today gives you that spark of, oh, things can turn out better.
He just doesn't give up. He doesn't give up on a person. And there was a time that I was just mad at him. I wouldn't talk to him, but he still kept coming. This guy, I'm like, what is wrong with this guy? He sees me as me, the way I am. He doesn't see the bad part about me. He sees the good in me and he knows that I can do good.
I think the classic is true with Doc and myself is, they say a friend is someone that likes you more than what you like yourself. So, and I really appreciate that he sees the good me even when I don't see the good me.
Yeah, like a doggy. You like a dog.
As a fresh new dad, it's such a privilege for me, for my kid to be exposed and to get to know Uncle Doc from the start. And if anything had to happen with me, my wife and I have already discussed that we want Doc to look after our child, and I have full trust that my best odds for my kid to be a great human is to be raised by Doc.
Doc has inspired me in a way that he taught me to be ambitious. So when you're given a light, you need to light other people's light.
I want to give myself to others the way he gives himself to us and the way he doesn't give up on us. I don't want to give up on other people.
I'm a man today. I have a wife, beautiful children. I feel like I have achieved what my father wanted me to achieve. I am grateful to everything that I have, and I owe that to my father, to Doc. And I think I'm privileged now enough to help or to give back. I mean, that's what Doc teaches, that we should look after each other.
Soccer is loved in South Africa.
Yes. Yes.
All the black kids in the townships and farms or in the villages or squatter camps. In South Africa, they play soccer every day. It's a platform where you can change one's world, because your world where you are at home, you are rejected, your father's not there. But when you're there, you got someone, you don't see each other as enemies, your friends, you play, it's fun. And soccer is an easy thing where it's just a soccer ball. It's just a soccer ball, everyone can buy it. I don't want to become a celebrity. I hated celebrity, I hated fame with passion. People might think that thing was a waste. It wasn't a waste. My football, even today, I'm playing more soccer than when I was a professional. But I wanted to make sure, instead of me becoming a hero, I make other heroes through my small outreach, my small interaction or relationships I build. And there is beauty in even the worst places can ever think of. Out of poverty, out of struggles, there's a beauty can come out of it. And that's my story, that's who I am.
But I speak in Afrikaans or English?